Ed, what are you doing?
Put my stuff away. Season's over. Haven't you heard? Cowboys don't have a chance.
Welcome back. Let's go!
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Ed and Eddie Silver and Blue, where we talk Cowboys all day, every day. And we got a special episode for you today.
Cowboys, Niners, man. I grew up as a 15-year-old watching the Catch game and cried my eyes out. And then 10 years later, got better when the Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin team came along. He was born at that time. And now here we are again, 30 years later.
Oh, yeah. So before we get into the playoff game and prediction, we got a few things we're going to go over. First and foremost, Ed, give us a little recap. Not so much a good, bad, and ugly, but how did you feel about that game against the Eagles to end the season?
I loved it. Anytime you can get a straight beat down on the Eagles, I'm all for it. I don't care if they were playing the water boy. Just crush them, beat them into submission. I'm all for it.
Oh, yeah. And that's the other thing, too. I liked it because, one, we had no big major injuries, and two, we did what we were supposed to.
Right.
The only thing I would say that was really frustrating about it was just the media. You can never win with them.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Because we beat up on their backups. Oh, well, that's just their backups. Oh, that's not impressive. But Lord knows if it would have been another close game like New Orleans, Washington,
right.
You guys barely hung in with backups. It was like growing up, kind of that equivalent of, quote, getting in a fight with a girl. If you win, you beat up a girl. Come on, dude. But then if you lose,
God forbid if you lose,
beat up by a girl. You can't win.
And other teams this season have played teams that were depleted. But did they put up 50 burgers?
No.
So I'm all for it, man. I had no problem with it at all. I enjoyed it very much. Tell me your thoughts on the season. You look back on the season real quick. How do you feel?
I honestly feel great. Like, when we started with our regular season predictions, I thought we were going to go 10-7 and win the division, but I'm just absolutely stunned. We shattered all my expectations, and I kind of knew, too. I even said, like, if our defense was even somewhat close to average, we would be awesome. And defense has played lights out for so many parts of the season.
Defense has greatly improved. The offense was the leading scoring offense in the league. We got a home playoff game. If you'd have told me that before the season started, I'd have taken it in a heartbeat. So here we are. I love it.
And do you one more too? At 12-5, that's enough for the 3 seed in the NFC. But dude, if we were in the AFC, we would be tied for first. So it's just, I hope people kind of understand that too. Like 12-5 is a pretty impressive feat, man. If the NFC wasn't so stacked, we'd be second or even first.
Right.
As we look into it here, Ed, how you feeling about this playoff game?
Pretty good, frankly. One of the big keys that I've told you since you were little, just like my brother Marty told me when I was little, when teams have a big emotional win, they often have a letdown the next week. We've seen it happen with the Cowboys. Niners played their hearts out last week. Overtime victory when they were down 17-0 on the road. It was awesome. Don't get me wrong. But it would not surprise me if they just didn't have that kind of energy this week against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys end up winning. Not handily, but pretty solidly.
Yeah, and I will say that's a big part, too, that a lot of people, for whatever reason, they're not looking at, too, is we are an excellent team at home. Like, stats show it, record shows it. The fact that we're at home, and since we played Saturday, had an extra day of rest, I think that does play into our favor. Because, we've seen it. Like, teams don't perform as well when they have to go from road game to road game. And we'll see with the Niners, man. I'm happy we're playing the Niners and not Arizona because for whatever reason, man, Arizona is one of those weird mojo teams for Dallas that, as long as I've seen, we have never played them super well.
Remember before the season when we reviewed the schedule coming up and made our predictions, you had Arizona as a loss for that exact reason.
Arizona and Denver. Yeah, I have no idea as to why, but we just don't play them really well. And I don't get it, but it just is,
Yeah,
and just,
that's a fact.
Like I said, feel a lot better about the Niners than Arizona.
True. But can you imagine trying to chase Kyler Murray around again on that turf again? And I could just see him, running ragged, Mighty Mouse out there.
Well, and the worst thing about it too, which also helps us because we're playing against the Niners, is what really kind of concerned me was at the last 4 minutes, they had this almost college level 4-minute offense with Kyler Murray that he's fast and dynamic enough to do all these read options, sprint outs, speed pitches. And it's like, we had no answer. Like, we've never seen that, but Jimmy can't do that. So
no, he can't. But don't be surprised. I think, Shanahan's going to pull some kind of weasel out of his hat. There's going to be a trick play or two. Watch the fake punts. That's his MO. You're going to see that. Don't be surprised when you do. Be ready for it.
We might as well look into it now. Let's look at kind of comparisons on the side of the ball. How do you feel about their offense? What are some things to look for here?
Debo, of course. Debo Samuel's an absolute beast. So is Kittle. Rams did a good job of slowing Kittle down, and they slowed down Samuel too for a little while, but Ayuk and their other receiver, I can't think of his name right this second, they had big days. So Niners did a real good job of recognizing immediately what the Rams were doing and capitalizing on that in the second half. But you're not going to stop Debo, but we'll get to that later as part of my keys. But offensively, you got to make Jimmy beat you. You know that.
Well, and the other thing, too, is, I agree with everything you're saying. It's just their run game is the big focus of their offense. Got to key in on that. Two other parts I was looking at is, one, Kyle Hughes, their fullback. He's very shifty. He's got some moves. He's a lunch pail to work kind of guy. So
sure, yeah.
Just be ready for him on the run as well as out of the backfield, because the guy is a very solid
dude. The Rams, they have a good defense. Their line is amazing. Aaron Donald, all that. But, dude, those are big, powerful guys. And I want to see Jimmy with our line. When you got Gregory and Lawrence and Micah sometimes, those guys fly. And they're going to be flying in there. I predict, this is part of my little prediction, not the score or anything yet, but I predict Jimmy's going to be looking down at our line constantly on any passing downs, and he's going to throw a pick or two.
Well, and I am already saying he's going to play just because it's playoffs, none left to lose. But I'm hoping Trent Williams, their left tackle, is not there. That guy is arguably one of the best left tackles I've seen in the league. Even with Tyron, he's arguably better at times than Tyron. So we looked a little bit at their offense. How you feeling about their defense here, Ed?
Defense is good. The line especially. That Armstead's an absolute beast. Linebackers are pretty good, but, man, their weak link is their DBs, and we have to take advantage of that. But we also have to run, too. You can't just ignore the run, I don't think, in this game. I think they can be had a little bit, especially if you run Pollard more.
Yeah. And I think a big thing about it, too, is kind of like you said, attack their weak points. Just their weak points are their corners. Get a guy like Cooper or Lamb matched up on Josh Norman. Let him go to town.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, and definitely their D-line, guys like Bosa and Arden Key are excellent pass rushers. We're going to have to neutralize them too. Or screens. I do think actual...
Not wide receiver screens, Kellen.
Actual halfback slip screens.
Yeah.
Because it keeps them honest. It really does.
One thing they've been doing a little more, though, is those lead draws, too. Those lead draws have been effective, and we didn't do much of those much of the season, but as of late, we've done a little more, and I like those.
No, I agree. So, Ed, before we go into our predictions, since this is a special playoff game, I would think we should go into our 3 keys of victory.
All right.
Ed, tell me about it. If we're going to beat the Niners, what are your 3 keys to success that we have to do?
Number 1, slow Debo Samuel down. All right. I don't think you can stop him because he runs, he catches, he even passes. But you got to slow him down. All right. Make him earn everything he gets. Be very physical with him when you do tackle him. Because if you don't, he's gonna be on you, because that guy is an absolute terror. Number 2, Dak must run. He's got to run. You got to uncork a couple of read options, at least 2, maybe 3 of those during the game. You and I have talked about it all year. It's there. If they want to do it, it's there. And run smart, Dak. Just, don't take any hits if you can help it. Slide. Don't be afraid to slide. But you got to run and keep them honest. I think that'll slow down the rush quite a bit. And And number 3, my third main key is Mike McCarthy. All right. I think Mike McCarthy is going to play an important part. And I don't mean the clock management. I just mean in the way he directs the team and gets them ready to play, and he gets them focused. He's done that almost all year. There's been a couple of letdowns, but for the most part, he's had them ready to play. And that, looking back on him, we shall not name, he never seemed to have them ready to play in the playoffs. Okay. I think Mike McCarthy has shown he has that ability. He's very successful with his record in Green Bay. I know he had Rodgers, but I'm really eager to see how they come out mentally, and that's where he comes in. I think that's one of the biggest keys.
I agree. So here are my keys to victory. Number 1, you got to get Pollard the ball. I think he is dynamic, and you see it with the yards per touch. Like, he is lightning in a bottle. You got to find ways to get it to him, whether it's 15, 20 carries, whether it's more, 7, 8 catches even, you got to get them. Number 2, you have to help on Nick Bosa. I think we got a little bit of a taste of it with Chandler Jones and the Cardinals that, even guys like Tyron, Hall of Famer, one of the best left tackles in the league, everybody struggles with an all-pro pass rusher one-on-one, and that's okay. That's totally fine. But knowing that, you got to help him out. You got to chip with Schultz, chip with Elliott, whatever you can do, help our boy out. And for the love of God, please don't make it a sign that he has to block, or Schultz has to block, Bosa one-on-one. Please don't.
Oh, my goodness.
Number 3, the final key to victory here is make Jimmy beat.
Amen.
Again, I would much rather lose a game against the Niners where Jimmy will go into this amazing Joe Montana mode, surprising everyone, passing it, than them running the ball 55 times down our throat, and there's nothing we could do.
Amen. Absolutely. I agree, because when they do that and they control the clock, that can get ugly.
Oh, yeah. Like I've seen it against the Rams earlier in the season where they had a drive that went on for like 13 minutes. Like, we cannot have that.
Nope.
We can't have them just grind our faces into the turf. We have to make Jimmy beat him, stop the run, go all out for that, and just have him sling the ball. Now, he's not a bad quarterback, mind you, but he is a lot less threatening passing it than he is handing it off and letting the short work offense just.
I agree, but you know what? So many people just praise that Niners run game. Oh, wow, it's a mismatch. They have such a great running game. Do they really, though? Dallas averaged 4.5 yards a carry. Niners, they averaged 4.3 yards a carry. All right, on the season, they ran for about 50 yards more than the Cowboys all season.
We got a good run game too.
So it's good, but it's not unstoppable.
Agreed. So, Ed, final call. What is your prediction?
30-20 Cowboys. That's the score of the 92 Cowboys victory over the Niners as well when they came back into prominence.
Okay. I'm calling it 27-20 Dallas.
Okay.
It's been 28, but of course, Greg missed an extra point, like always. So.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. That's a bit of a wild.
I don't want to talk about it.
Hey guys, check this out. This is Jake. Jake is the recipient of that awesome Trayvon Diggs youth jersey. Enjoy, Jake.
Awesome, Jake. Glad you can have it. So everybody, hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let us know what you think in the comments. How do you feel we're going to do in this playoff game against the Niners? Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't. If you did, welcome aboard. And don't forget to hit that like, because every time you do, an Eagles fan cries.
All right, everybody. See you Sunday.